I never thought I'd be the kind of guy to write something like this, but last Friday night changed everything. If you told me a week ago that I'd catch my wife cheating in a crowded nightclub, I would have laughed in your face. Not because I thought I had a perfect marriage, but because I trusted her. Completely. Or at least, I thought I did. We've been together for 8 years. Married for 5. No kids yet, but we were planning. Talking about buying a bigger place, maybe moving out of the city. Everything looked stable. Predictable. Safe. But looking back now, I realized something was off for a while. She started going out more. At first, it was harmless, girls' nights, birthdays, co-workers celebrating promotions. I didn't question it. I'm not the jealous type. I always believe that if you need to control someone, the relationship is already dead. But then it became frequent. 2 times a week. Then 3. She'd come home late. Sometimes at 3 or 4 in the morning. Sometimes she wouldn't come home at all and text me something like, "Staying at Jessica's, too tired to drive." And yeah, I believed it. I hate admitting that now. The first real red flag hit me about a month ago. She came home one night smelling different. Not just like alcohol or smoke, but like someone else's cologne. I noticed it immediately when she hugged me. I even asked her, half joking, "Who are you hugging tonight?" She laughed. Like actually laughed. "Relax, it's probably just from the club. Everyone smells like that there." And I let it go. Because that's what you do when you trust someone. But after that, I started paying attention. She became more protective of her phone. Always face down. Always locked. Taking it with her everywhere, even to the bathroom. I know, classic signs. But when it's happening to you, you don't want to believe it. You start making excuses for them in your own head. She's just stressed. She needs space. Don't be paranoid. Yeah. I told myself all of that. Until last Friday. She told me she was going out again. Same story. Just a girl's night, don't wait up. But something in her tone felt rehearsed. Like she'd said it too many times. And for the first time, I didn't believe her. I didn't say anything. I just nodded and acted normal. But the moment she walked out the door, something inside me snapped. I sat there for maybe 10 minutes, just staring at the wall. Then I grabbed my keys. I didn't have a plan. I didn't even know where she was going. But I knew one thing. I needed to see the truth for myself. I checked her Instagram stories first. Nothing. Then I remembered, one of her friends had tagged a club a few days ago. A place downtown. Loud, crowded, always packed on weekends. It was a long shot, but it was all I had. So I drove there. The whole way, my heart was pounding. Not from anger, but from fear. Because deep down, I already knew. I just didn't want to confirm it. When I got there, the line outside was insane. People everywhere. Music blasting through the walls. Lights flashing even from outside. I almost turned around. I swear, I was seconds away from just going home and pretending none of this ever happened. But then I saw her. Standing near the entrance. Laughing. And she wasn't alone. She was standing way too close to some guy I'd never seen before. His hand was on her lower back. Casual. Comfortable. Like it belonged there. And she didn't move it away. That's when everything inside me went cold. Not angry. Not emotional. Just empty. I stayed back. Far enough so she wouldn't see me. I watched as they walked inside together. And in that moment, I knew. Whatever I was about to see next. There was no coming back from it. I stood there for a few seconds after they walked in, just frozen. People were moving around me, laughing, talking, pushing past me to get inside. But I couldn't hear anything clearly. It was like the world went muffled. My wife. Walking into a nightclub with another guy like that. Not a friend. Not a coworker. Something else. I don't even remember how I got inside. I think I just followed the crowd, paid at the entrance, and let myself get swallowed by the noise and lights. The music was so loud it felt like it was hitting my chest with every beat. I felt completely out of place. Like I wasn't supposed to be there. Like I was about to see something I couldn't unsee. I moved slowly through the crowd, trying not to draw attention. My eyes were scanning everywhere. And then I saw them. Near the bar. She was facing him now, leaning in close to hear what he was saying. But she wasn't pulling away. Their faces were inches apart. Too close. Way too close. He said something, and she laughed again. That same laugh she used to give me. And then he touched her face. Just for a second. His hand brushed her cheek, like it was the most natural thing in the world. And she didn't stop him. That was the moment something inside me cracked. Not shattered, not exploded. Just cracked. Because there's a difference between suspicion and confirmation. Suspicion hurts. But confirmation, it kills something in you. I should have walked up to them right there. I should have said something. But I didn't. Instead, I stepped back into the shadows near one of the pillars and just watched. I don't know why. Maybe I needed to see how far it would go. Maybe I was hoping, stupidly, that it would stop there. It didn't. They ordered drinks. Took shots together. Her hand brushed his arm, then stayed there. Minutes passed. Or maybe it was longer. Time felt weird. And then they moved to the dance floor. That's when it got worse. The crowd was packed tight, bodies pressed together, lights flashing so fast it was hard to see clearly. But I saw enough. He pulled her closer. She didn't resist. Her hands went around his neck. His hands, lower on her waist. Then lower. And she still didn't move them away. I felt my fists clench without even realizing it. My jaw tightened so hard it hurt. But I still didn't move. I just stood there, watching my own wife, dancing like that with someone else. Like I didn't exist. Like our entire life together didn't exist. And then it happened. He leaned in. And she kissed him. Not a quick mistake. Not something you could explain away. A real kiss. Slow. Intentional. Like they'd done it before. That was it. That was the moment everything inside me finally snapped. All the denial. All the excuses. All the trust. Gone. Replaced with something cold and heavy in my chest. I started moving toward them. Not fast. Not aggressive. Just steady. People bumped into me, tried to push past me, but I didn't even react. My eyes were locked on them. They were still close, still touching, still in their own little world. Until I was right there. Right behind them. Close enough to hear her breathing. Close enough to see his hand still on her body. And that's when I said it. Calm. Quiet. Almost emotionless. Having fun. She froze. Her entire body went stiff like someone had just pulled the plug. Slowly, she turned around. And when her eyes met mine, I saw it. That split second of pure panic. Like her brain couldn't process how I was standing there. Like she thought she was safe. Like she never expected to get caught. Her face went pale. Her mouth opened slightly, but no words came out. The guy looked confused at first, then looked between us. And that's when it clicked for him. You know this guy? He asked her. She didn't answer. She just stared at me. And in that moment, I realized something even worse than the cheating itself. She wasn't sorry. She was scared. Not because she hurt me. But because she got caught. And that hurt more than anything I had just seen. For a few seconds, nobody said anything. The music was still blasting around us, people dancing, shouting, living their lives like nothing had just happened. But inside that small space between the three of us, everything stopped. She was staring at me like she'd seen a ghost. The guy slowly took a step back, his hand sliding off her waist like he suddenly realized it didn't belong there anymore. Hey man. I didn't know, he started. I didn't even look at him. My eyes were locked on her. How long? I asked. My voice was calm. Too calm. It didn't even sound like me. She blinked, like she needed a second to understand the question. What? She whispered. How long? I repeated. Still calm. Still steady. But inside, everything was burning. She shook her head quickly, like she could reset reality if she moved fast enough. It's not what it looks like. I let out a short, dry laugh. Not loud. Not emotional. Just, empty. You're kissing another guy in a club, I said. Explain to me what it looks like then. Her lips trembled. She looked around, like she was suddenly aware of the people nearby, the noise, the chaos. I didn't think you'd be here, she said. And that sentence. That sentence hit harder than anything else. Not, I'm sorry. Not, I messed up. Just, she didn't expect to get caught. I finally glanced at the guy. He looked uncomfortable, shifting his weight, clearly trying to figure out if he should stay or disappear. Do yourself a favor, I told him quietly. Walk away. He didn't argue. Didn't say anything else. He just raised his hand slightly like, I'm out, and disappeared into the crowd within seconds. And just like that. It was just me and her. My wife. Or at least, the person I thought was my wife. She stepped closer to me, her voice shaking now. Please, let's talk somewhere else, she said. I didn't move. No, I replied. We'll talk right here. Her eyes filled with tears almost instantly. People always think tears mean guilt. Sometimes they do. But sometimes, they're just fear. I didn't mean for this to happen, she said. I stared at her. You didn't mean, to kiss him. She hesitated. That tiny pause said everything. It just happened, she finished weakly. I nodded slowly. Yeah, I said. Things just happen. I took a step closer now. Not aggressive. Not loud. But enough that she instinctively stepped back. Did it just happen the first time too? I asked. Her eyes widened. And there it was again. That look. Caught. How many times? I pressed. She shook her head again, faster this time. It's not like that, I swear. How many times? Each word slower. Heavier. She covered her mouth with her hand, like she was trying to hold the truth inside. But it was already out. I could see it all over her face. Weeks. Maybe months. All those nights out. All those girls' nights. All those times she came home late, or didn't come home at all. It wasn't random. It wasn't a mistake. It was a pattern. And I was the only one too blind to see it. I was going to tell you, she said suddenly. I actually laughed this time. A real laugh. Sharp. Bitter. When? I asked. After what? After you got bored of him? After I proposed we buy a house? After we had kids? She didn't answer. Because there was no answer. The music around us felt louder now, almost suffocating. Or maybe it was just the silence between us that made everything else feel overwhelming. I trusted you, I said. And that was the first time my voice cracked. Just a little. But enough. I gave you everything, I continued. 8 years. 8 years of my life. Her tears started falling properly now, mascara smudging under her eyes. I know. I know, she whispered. But it sounded empty. Like she was saying it because she knew she had to. Not because she actually felt it. I shook my head slowly. No, I said. You don't know. I looked at her one last time. Really looked. Trying to find the person I married. The person I built a life with. But all I saw was a stranger. I'm done, I said. 2 simple words. But they felt heavier than anything I had ever said in my life. Her head snapped up. No, no, please, don't say that, she rushed. We can fix this, I swear, we can. I took a step back. And that was it. That was the distance. Not physical. Final. You already made your choice, I said quietly. I'm just finally accepting it. She reached for my arm. I pulled it away. Not aggressively. Just, firmly. And for the first time that night, I saw something real in her eyes. Not fear. Not panic. Loss. Because she realized. This time, she couldn't talk her way out of it. This time, there were no excuses left. I turned around. And started walking. Through the crowd. Through the noise. Through everything. I didn't look back. Because I knew. If I did, it would only make it harder. And I was already holding on by a thread. I don't remember much of the drive home. Not the traffic. Not the lights. Not even the music. Just silence. The kind of silence that presses against your ears and makes your thoughts louder than anything else. Every memory started replaying in my head. Her smile. Our wedding day. The way she used to look at me like I was the only person in the world. And now. Now I knew that look wasn't mine anymore. Maybe it hadn't been for a while. When I got home, the apartment felt different. Same walls. Same furniture. But empty. Like something had already left, even before tonight. I walked into the bedroom and just stood there for a minute. Her side of the bed was untouched. Everything looked normal. Too normal. That's what made it worse. I sat down and stared at the floor, trying to process everything. But there was nothing left to process. The truth was simple. She cheated. More than once. And I was done. About an hour later, I heard the door open. Slowly. Carefully. Like she wasn't sure what she'd find on the other side. Her footsteps were quiet as she walked in. "Are you here?" she called softly. I didn't answer right away. I just sat there. Eventually, she appeared in the doorway. Her makeup was ruined. Eyes red. Hair messy. She looked broken. But not the kind of broken I felt. Different. She saw me sitting there and froze. For a second, it looked like she didn't know what to say. Then she stepped forward. "Please, can we talk?" she asked. I nodded slightly. "Talk," I said. She sat down across from me, keeping some distance this time. Like she understood things weren't the same anymore. "I messed up," she started. I didn't react. I know I did. And I hate myself for it. Still nothing. "I never wanted to hurt you," she continued, her voice shaking. That's when I finally looked at her. "You didn't want to hurt me," I repeated. She nodded quickly. "But you did it anyway." She broke down again, covering her face with her hands. "I don't know what's wrong with me," she said through tears. I felt distant from you. And when I met him, it was like, I don't know, something new, something exciting." I stared at her. "And that was enough?" I asked. 8 years, and that's all it took." She shook her head violently. "No, it's not like that, it's just. It is like that," I cut her off. "Because that's exactly what you chose." Silence filled the room again. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Final. "I'll do anything," she said after a moment. "We can go to therapy. I'll cut him off. I'll stop going out. Whatever you want." I leaned back slightly. And for the first time that night, I felt calm. Not angry. Not sad. Just clear. "That's the problem," I said. She looked up, confused. "You're offering to change now," I continued. "After I caught you." Her face fell. "But I needed you to choose me, when I wasn't watching." That hit her. I could see it. Because she knew it was true. "I chose you every day," I said. Without thinking. Without hesitation. My voice stayed steady. "But you didn't." Tears rolled down her face again, but I didn't feel anything anymore. No anger. No sympathy. Just distance. "I can't unsee what I saw tonight," I said. "I can't unknow what I know." She shook her head again, desperate now. "Please, don't throw everything away because of one mistake." I stood up. And that was it. That was the final line. "It wasn't one mistake," I said quietly. "It was a series of choices." She didn't respond. Because there was nothing left to say. I walked past her and grabbed a small bag from the closet. Started putting in the essentials. Clothes. Wallet. Charger. She watched me the whole time. Silent. Like she finally understood. "Where are you going?" she asked weakly. "Anywhere but here," I replied. I zipped the bag and walked toward the door. My hand rested on the handle for a second. And I thought about everything. The years. The memories. The plans. All of it. Gone. I didn't look back. Because this time, there was nothing left to hold on to. I opened the door and stepped out. And as it closed behind me, it felt like the end of something. Not just a relationship. A version of my life. And maybe, the beginning of something else. Something honest. Something real. Because if there's one thing I learned from all of this, it's that trust isn't broken in one moment. It's destroyed in silence. In lies. In choices made when you think no one is watching. And once it's gone, there's no fixing it. Only walking away. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I post new Reddit stories about cheating, relationships, and crazy life situations every day. And if you have a story like this, feel free to share it in the comments.